Matt, from Between the Ropes, firstly, it is an honour to speak to an MMA torchbearer for the UK, legend Dan Hardy. Dan, how are you?
I'm really good, mate, thank you.
How are you finding being in Newcastle this week?
It's awesome, Buzz around the city, everyone's talking about PFL. All the fighters are in town now, so we've had a few face-offs and there's some tension between some of the fighters, which makes for very interesting matchups. I'm excited, really good card.
And how would you describe the PFL for people who don't know about it?
Well, PFL globally is a league. So basically, each year there's a new league that the fighters work through. We have the regular season. They qualify for the playoffs, and then if they win the playoffs with enough points, they move on to the championships. What the PFL Europe League is it's effectively a feeder show to that. So we're going to try and determine who the best fighters are in Europe in the chosen weight classes, and then if they get to the finals, which is Dublin this year, they get the £100,000 prize, and then they get to move on to PFL Global, and then they're in striking distance of the World Championship and $1 million. So we're basically we're curating the European talent ready for the global league, and this is the first show this weekend for PFL Europe.
And what is your role in the PFL for the people who don't know?
Well, I'm doing a few things. I'm going to be commentating and analysing the fights, so I'll be cage side on fight night. But generally, overall, I'm the Director of Fighter Operations for Europe. So my job is now to scout talent, find people that I want to sign onto the roster, kind of answer any questions, help them integrate into the PFL as the PFL machine, the PFL as a promotion, and then match them, make sure they've got the right opponents as they're moving through their career and they're being challenged. And we're basically trying to find who the best fighters are in Europe in each weight class, so we can move them onto the global scene. And I'll be looking for people that have got promise for the future, so we'll be developing fighters. But I've also got people in mind that are pretty much 3 fights away from moving towards that $1 million prize.
And MMA in Europe, and especially the UK, seems to be exploding at the moment. That must make you incredibly busy.
Yes, it does. There are shows every weekend now in multiple different places. At one point there would be a show one weekend, and then you'd have to wait 2 or 3 weekends, and there'd be a show elsewhere in the country. And with MMA being legalised in France now, we've got a lot more shows coming up in France. There's so many shows in Germany. Poland's always been a hotbed for MMA. I just feel like it's a good time to be an MMA fighter now, and what we need is opportunities for them to compete. With the IMAFs as well, the amateur scene's coming up strong, and we're looking at groups of fighters that are going to be turning pro very soon. They're going to need more shows, and I'm hoping the PFL will bring that stability to the region and give everybody a goal to step into something and make some real money.
And what can we expect on Saturday night?
We're gonna expect a really good fight. I mean, every single one on the card is a good matchup. Of course, the main event, Muhammad Amin against Simeon Powell, it's just a fascinating matchup between strikers in small gloves. Amin is an excellent kickboxer. Simeon's an excellent kickboxer who I feel has transitioned very well to mixed martial arts. He's also got takedowns, grappling skills as well. Dakota, undefeated, taking on Melvin Hermanson, who's an excellent boxer. Again, ground game, takedowns, back taking, all the way down the card. Lewis McGrillen, Sam Robinson on the card, a lot of local stars. Louis Lee Scott, very exciting fighters, undefeated, knockout artists. We're going to have some really good scraps in here on Saturday night.
Looking forward to it, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.